Each year, we're holding government to its own means, just like we do Florida families. Each year we've had a reduction of these last 5 years. In this budget, it shows that we're good stewards of the taxpayers' money.
It ain't bragging if you're doing it. And that's,
Well said.
Dizzy Dean said that one time, and you're not bragging because you did it. Great job.
Governor, what about the 159 projects that Florida Tax Watch listed as turkeys and want vetoed?
Well, we went through. I saw that and reviewed those. But I have a whole team that we did it. We talked to senators, we talked to representatives, and to look at these budgets or look at these projects. I think we reviewed 440 projects, and sort of the filter was this. I think about, and I think all of us think about the family that's making $40,000 a year. They're paying sales taxes, they're paying property taxes, they pay fees to the state. We've got to make sure their dollars are spent well. So we looked at it and said, is this a good use of their money? So is it a statewide project or is it a local project? Is it something that's going to help all the citizens? Is it something that we can feel comfortable that we're getting a return on our investment? So as you know, on economic development, we look at those projects. When we want companies to come to Florida, we want them to expand in Florida. We only do it if we're going to get our money back. So we look at the same thing with this. And then we look at whether the project makes sense. So we've gone through piece by piece. There's a letter, should be up on the internet right now, that goes through all those projects and whether we funded them or not. I think if you look at what I suggested last year is that we go through and I had a filter. I said, look, we got to get a return for the taxpayers of the state. And so as an example, I'll give you an example of something we funded that I didn't fund last year. I elected not to. That's public television. I mean, they came back and they showed us that there's a good return on those dollars. I looked at projects and said, look, I treated some projects just like we treat economic development. If we don't get the return they said they were going to get, they'll give us the money back. And so this is, of course, remember, this is the families of Florida's money. All of us up here, we're doing our best to try to make sure that we get a return for those families. It allows it to go up 5%. All right. What I've asked at our universities and our state colleges is to first step back and do what Florida businesses had to do to compete in a global marketplace. What they've had to do is they've had to say what costs can we have and what costs don't make sense. So I want all of our state colleges and all of our universities to step back and say, are there costs that we don't have to have? Are there things that are nice to have that are really not helping our students get a great education? Next, are we teaching things, having degrees that people aren't getting jobs? Why are we doing that? That's your tax money. That's the family that's making $40,000 a year. That's their tax money. If we waste money in that area, they're the families, their children want to go to state colleges and universities. So that's before we automatically be out here raising tuition. Let's look at those things first. We kept basically state funding of education flat last year. What happened is the federal stimulus money came in, and then the federal stimulus money ran through our state budget, and it went away. So if you look at all of us, what we did is we made sure, walking into a $3.7 billion budget deficit last year, we made sure we did everything we could, and we kept basically state funding for education flat last year. And this year, the same group put $1,068 million more. And the way we did it is we went through every agency. I asked our agencies when I proposed the budget, and these senators and House members, they talked to agencies and they held them accountable and said, how are you spending money? And so by doing that, we were able to put this, we did all these things. We put $1,068 million more into education, we balanced the budget, and we're not increasing the debt of the state. The state had increased state debt by $1 billion a year for 20 straight years. Last year we paid down our state debt $500 million. I hope to do at least that this year. Look, I know more people. When I ran, I was the outsider, so I've gotten a lot more feedback. On top of that, I think what's happened is just like the public television, they've come back and explained their returns. Now, everybody is not going to, we're all not exactly the same, so we're all not going to want to do all the same projects. But I used my best efforts to say what's in the best interest for all the taxpayers of the state, and it's not an easy task.
Any big winners or losers in this budget?
Well, I think the taxpayers, the citizens of the state are the winners.